My purpose is to entertain. I'm funny looking, so you're at least laughing at that.
Hi, and welcome to the BlueMilk Podcast. Where we talk about anything and everything Star Wars related. I'm DJ.
Jacob.
Drinking.
And we... Do we really exist?
No, that's not what we're talking about today.
No, kind of we are.
No, well...
We...
Alright,
we,
hang on.
No,
I want to do it.
You do it.
We
have...
It's been a while. It has been a while.
It has been a while.
We have a fan topic.
Da-da-da-da!
Jacob. What is it?
You told me you were going to do it.
I don't...
He did the intro. What
Okay,
asshole?
so... This is from...
right here.
Leslie.
Les. He goes by Les, I think.
Les Earl Lyman.
Oh, great. Yeah.
His comment is right there in public.
You know what?
Everyone can see
You know
it.
what?
What?
He has 3 names. He's a serial killer.
Well, Lyman is, I would say,
more
of a last name than a first name.
Yeah, but it's still...
Oh, but he has 3 names.
Yeah, so it's serial killer.
Assassins only have 2.
Don't look at me! Anyway,
I have 3.
thank you, Les.
Hi, Les. Thank you.
So, the question is, what if Star Wars never happened?
Like, the movie
Like,
franchise, the
movie.
entire cultural movement
Nothing.
of
It's
Star Wars
never existed.
never happened.
Ever.
If George Lucas had never made Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6, or 1, 2, and 3, or 7 and 8, or New Hope,
now,
or Rogue One, or...
ignoring the obvious. Like, we wouldn't have this tablecloth.
Clearly.
We wouldn't be...
We wouldn't have these shirts.
We
Well,
wouldn't
we
have
might.
shirts.
I would have this shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
you
that
wouldn't
one.
have those 2 tattoos.
I would not have the 2 tattoos that I have on my back.
You probably would not be watching the BlueMilk Podcast.
Because we would not be making the BlueMilk Podcast.
True.
Probably not. It is highly probable that we would not have the BlueMilk Podcast.
The BlueMilk Podcast would not exist.
Yeah.
Jacob would probably not exist.
So let's avoid all the obvious. Avoid all the obvious. Start with Jacob.
Oh, why do you want to start with me?
Because you're awesome.
You are the boss.
No, start with BJ.
You're the boss.
Start with BJ.
You're the
No,
boss.
Exactly.
I like
I'm the boss,
finishing
BJ.
with the
Start
BJ.
with you. What?
He was using executive authority. If Star Wars didn't exist, I would probably have a different outlook on spirituality.
I'm curious now. How so?
Well, my own spiritual beliefs kind of coincide. It's many years of just seeing something that sounds right, or hearing something that sounds right to me, and kind of making it my own, which is generally what religions do anyway.
Oh, you just pissed off a lot of people there.
Yeah, but it's true.
Not denying that. Merely stating that you pissed off a lot of people. When
They hear something.
that end of the table.
They hear something that they like, and they make it their own. It's
just
that's
like
the
that
way it
end of
is.
the table.
Fuck you.
No, he doesn't know what to make his own, so he just goes with what other people say.
There is some accuracy.
Anyway, my own perspective on spirituality is one that coincides with the Force, in that we all kind of, when we die, our own essence, our spirituality doesn't it doesn't really go away. It just kind of goes back to what it came from. There's this big brain. I guess you could call it the Force or a life stream or something along those lines. But essentially, when we die, our spirituality, the thing that animates us as human beings or any living creature, I mean, cats, dogs, frogs, lizards, anything that is alive outside of, even trees. I mean, because trees are alive, vegetables, stuff like that. Those are still living entities because they do the process of life similar to us. So things like that are they all have an essence to it, and when they die, all of that essence kind of just flows around in the unseen aspect of our lives. And when something is born or grown, it essentially draws from this pool of essence or force or something along those lines, and it animates it. It's what gives it life. Outside of the strictly scientific, I'm not denying the scientific, but I'm just saying that there are things that there's more to the scientific than just there's more to life than just the scientific. I believe that there's an essence involved as well.
Philosophy bleeds into the scientific bleeds into the philosophy. Because if you really think about it, it's kind of disgusting. But right now, we're all breathing dead people.
That is accurate. When a human being is cremated, a part of them goes into the atmosphere, and to be cremation, not
decomposition.
Dead skin cells. I mean, 90% of dust that you see around your house is actually dead skin cells.
The sand on the beach is all dead.
No
matter.
When you said we're all dead, we're all breathing.
We're all dead breathing people.
Dead.
Yes, we're all dead breathing people.
I was thinking that you were saying that you were all saying that we're all dead. Like we're all dead inside. We're all just breathing. That was my picture.
Well, not everyone is dead on the inside, but there are a lot of people that are dead on the inside.
Yeah.
But regardless, my own personal.
Hi, Russ.
Hi, Keith.
Hi.
Santos.
No, he's not dead inside.
Hi, future me.
There we go.
Hey.
Regardless, my spiritual belief is one of kind of like it coincides with the Force in that we all kind of return to it. So there really is there's no reason to mourn. Well, I mean there is a reason to mourn the dead, but they exist still in some capacity or whatever. It kind of goes with reincarnation as well. So there's a lot of things that kind of mesh with it. But overall, I feel like the idea of the Force, the concept of the Force, influenced my spirituality a lot. On top of that, I wouldn't have my tattoos on my back, so those wouldn't be there. And then there wouldn't be like some of the greatest games ever created that have been made, like KOTOR or KOTOR 2,
Monopoly, Star Wars Monopoly.
No, those
Star Wars Trivial Pursuit.
It would be one less themed version of a very basic game. Monopoly is a very basic game.
We wouldn't have Pixar. Actually,
we might. THX was created
Pixar?
prior
It's
to
not
Star
Pixar.
Wars. Well, no.
George Lucas donated all the extra stuff after all the Star Wars stuff to the Pixar.
That doesn't mean we wouldn't have Pixar.
We wouldn't have Pixar as fast.
We may not have it in the
time frame.
Not just time frame, but in the
capacity
that it is right now.
We wouldn't have.
Sure as hell wouldn't have Lucasfilm.
No, we wouldn't have
Skywalker Sound.
No. I believe we would have Skywalker Sound because he was working on THX, the THX format of sound prior to Star Wars.
THX, yes, but Skywalker Sound was not a subsidiary. It was a separate division where they used their own in-house created sound ideas.
Alright.
We would not have that. And a lot of the Skywalker sound and Lucasfilm ideas are used in current movies.
Yeah.
So there may be...
We wouldn't have a lot of the directors or writers or actors or any of that stuff.
Actors, yeah.
Because of
We
Star
would have had
Wars.
Carrie Fisher.
We
Because she
would
did
have had
other
she-
shit.
we would have had
Harrison
Indiana
Ford
Jones.
too.
We probably
would've-
would have had him. Yeah.
We would have had
Mark
Indiana
Hamill, I
Jones.
think, was the breakout role for him was Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think you're right, yeah. I think that was
Mark
his
Hamill.
debut.
We had Billy D. Williams before that.
Yeah, definitely.
We had Alec Guinness before that.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we also had
We
was it
had
Tarkin?
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing.
Cushing.
So I mean, Cushing already existed before that. I mean, they already had very big movie archives. I mean,
Well, they were
by
all-
that point. Yeah, they're from
overseas
old,
anyway.
they're old school actors, regardless.
Very much
so.
And very good actors, too. Well,
They were
until they croaked.
past. But I mean, like even if you look at, well, I mean, we wouldn't have young Anakin.
That would be awesome.
We wouldn't have older Anakin either.
That would also be awesome.
We wouldn't have
To be fair, he would still be an actor though, because I believe he acted in something prior to Star Wars.
Really?
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Really?
Not Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd wouldn't probably be.
No,
Yeah,
he probably still would have gotten arrested.
He would not be an actor. Let's just put
He
it
still
that way.
would have gotten arrested.
No, that's questionable. The only reason he was able to do what
He
he
was
did
driven.
was because he had the money from Star Wars.
I think he still would have. Have you seen that mugshot?
Yeah,
He still would have gotten arrested.
questionable. He turned out that way because of Star Wars money and all the critics, all the critiques of
you
it.
cannot blame Star Wars for him turning out.
I can absolutely blame Star Wars. If we're talking about how Star Wars has affected us, we have to take into consideration of how Star Wars has affected
We
other
would
people.
have Natalie Portman.
We would still have Natalie Portman as an actress. Because the first movie she
I don't
was in
know,
was
she
Leon
might-
the Professional.
She
Yeah.
might have been impregnated, or her mother might have been impregnated because of a Star Wars movie. So it is possible that we may not have had her.
I seriously doubt there are a lot of major actors currently acting that were made simply from the Star Wars existing.
It would be an interesting. I would like to research that and talk to the parents.
In depth.
Talk to the parents of the current actors.
That would be weird.
Find out if they were
Well,
banging.
The
during
reason why
Star
I was
Wars.
saying actors
It
is
could have been
because
some other
people
movie.
could've-
It could have been.
People could have been inspired by Star Wars.
To bang?
No, to be
Well,
become
yes.
an actor, become a voice actor, become a director, become a
Oh,
writer,
yeah.
become a special effects designer, a sound
A
effects.
sound effects person,
Yeah.
visual editor.
George Lucas still would have made it because he was working on all kinds of shit
Yeah,
back in the
well, I mean,
day.
he's still.
Well, I mean, yeah, he had like
he
Indiana
wouldn't be
Jones,
as rich as right now.
E.T.
No, that was
That was Spielberg.
Did Lucas? Did he help write that?
I think so. Yeah.
Spielberg directed E.T.
I don't know about E.T.
Lucas was involved.
I know that
Spielberg and Lucas worked on it.
Watch Indiana Jones. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they went to school together.
Oh,
Same thing with Scorsese.
Oh.
Yeah, they all went to. They were all in the same kind of class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to the same class, but yeah.
So Lucas probably still would be out doing things. It's just he wouldn't. I don't think he wouldn't be as in the forefront of a social movement as he is right now.
No, I don't think so.
Or he was.
He wouldn't have a museum being built in Los Angeles. He has
Really?
Yeah, he's building a museum.
Lucas has a museum
He's building a museum, yeah. For,
for Star Wars.
He is building
No,
a museum
yeah.
personally.
no, well,
I mean,
his money,
his money is building a museum.
yeah,
He has donated the money necessary to build a museum.
yes. And it's about, what is it, moving,
Hey man, tax write-offs.
it's
That's
moving, art,
When you got like
Art,
several
so it's like
billion
about
fucking dollars.
videos, it's mainly about, like, movies and television.
So cinematography.
Cinematography.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's not just Star Wars.
It's not just Star Wars, no. But it's just the movies and
I
television.
hope Star Wars Land is very much like a museum of Star Wars.
That'd be cool.
I hope it's done up like the Star Trek experience in Vegas.
No, that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, it doesn't?
Oh, it got canned years ago, bro.
Oh, shit.
I went there. Me and my buddy Dan went there the weekend it was closing.
Dirty Dan?
Really? I liked it. Why did it get closed? Just wasn't making...
I don't know.
Wasn't a draw?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah, I know.
It was fun.
I went to the bar.
Yeah, so did we.
We went to Cork's Bar, I believe.
I
it is.
had Romulan ale.
I did not have ramen in
It
it, but I
gave me a
had
headache.
I had a Borg. I had the Borg cube or the Borg sphere. There was a drink that was like a fish bowl
Oh shit!
And it was green, and it had dry ice in it, so it smoked, and they called it the Borg Sphere. Thank you. The Borg Sphere, and then there was also the Warp Core, which was purple.
Continue in 1 second.
What?
This is not blasphemy because Star Wars doesn't exist anymore.
It's true.
Okay, continue.
But me and Dan each got one of these, and good God, it was so much fucking alcohol. Yeah, I got when I get drunk, I lose more of my filter than I have normally, which is impressive. If you've hung out with me, that me having any filter seems unnatural. But it's there. It's just not that good, and it's really not that good when I'm sort of drunk. And I got drunk that trip, and somehow most of Vegas ended up thinking that me and Dan were together as a couple. So that happened.
All because Star Wars didn't exist.
No, that's with Star Wars existing.
Shit.
But I
Okay,
mean,
so if Star Wars didn't exist, then you wouldn't be gay?
correct.
Okay.
Although I'm not.
At least gay in Vegas.
Yeah, gay in Vegas. I haven't been to Vegas since then, so yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you're only gay in Vegas.
You're only gay in Vegas.
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Except for the story that you just shared.
Yeah,
That's okay. It's
I didn't
still
give
in
any
Vegas.
major details.
He's turning red.
I know.
He's picturing the...
He's the dude on dude action.
Oh, yeah, now I am too, asshole. Knock it off.
Just rolling around, oiled. They can't even see him. They see literally like maybe the top of his head.
Oh, shit. Well, let's bring that back then. Nah, Star Wars doesn't exist.
But anyway, yeah. So I feel spiritually. I think my perspective would be a little different if Star Wars didn't exist. On top of the fact that so much really good literature and video games and music in general. Like, would John Williams be as huge of a composer?
Yes.
Would he?
I think he would have found...
What has he done outside of Star Wars?
I think he would have found...
The original Superman theme? He wrote the Superman theme.
Okay.
You have Indiana Jones. You have Jaws. You have E.T.
Oh, wow, he did all of them?
Yeah.
He would
Harry
have
Potter.
found-
First... Yeah, but the thing is would he have gotten Harry Potter without Star Wars?
He did Superman beforehand.
Superman is not that popular.
Still.
It was.
At the
He would have
time,
had
not now.
He would have still done Indiana Jones.
It was done in the
You
80s.
have to
No one
look at
gives
the
a
time.
shit about the 80s.
You have to look at the time frame. He did that back then.
He would have still
Would he
done.
still have...
He would have still done Indiana
How many
Jones.
jobs has he had since Star Wars?
How many jobs has he needed since Star Wars?
Fair enough. But the thing is without Star Wars, would he have gotten those jobs? Like, you gotta look at the...
This is just philosophy. This is
You
just...
gotta look at the fact that maybe John Williams got a lot of the jobs he's gotten since Star Wars because of Star Wars. So if he hadn't done Star Wars, would he have gotten all those other jobs?
I believe so. I still think that he would have had Jaws, because Jaws came out before Star Wars. So
it came out around the same time.
If you remove Star Wars, John Williams is still an awesome composer.
Yeah.
That is correct. But
So,
the thing is
yes,
would he be as prevalent?
I think so, yes.
I don't think as prevalent.
Well, then if
because-
you think that, then you also have to take into consider George Lucas. Because George Lucas, when he made Star Wars, was a really good director.
But he wasn't until
Not
Star
then. But, I mean, the thing is well, that's not quite true. He had made at least 2 movies.
He made American
THX,
Yeah.
American Graffiti, and THX.
American Graffiti was the big one that I know of.
That's the Harrison
biggest
Ford
one that
was
I
in that
know
one.
of, yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta think, like, those put him in a position to where they were willing to take a risk on him to make Star Wars. And if he hadn't done Star Wars, what would he have done instead?
Indiana Jones still...
He would have written Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I understand that, but the thing is he still would have directed something. Because he is friends with Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he would have Steven would have been like throwing him on there instead. Like, instead of someone else directing some movie, like, just imagine George Lucas directing Jaws. That's not true, because at the time it wouldn't happen.
Time period.
That's right.
At the time,
More animatronics.
But there were a lot of animatronics in Jaws.
You know, I've been thinking of these little warrior teddy bears. Maybe we should put that in water.
No. But see, you gotta take into consideration, if Star Wars hadn't existed, where would these people have gone? Like, what would they have become? Like, we clearly would be a lot different. I mean, as Jacob.
Beforehand, I probably wanted to be here because Star Wars. This got really serious now. Star Wars taught me that I didn't need anyone to prove me my dreams. And high school wasn't a good time for me. So, yeah.
It's a tough time for everybody.
Yeah, but I got bullied because I was fat and everything. And I discovered Star Wars. Well, I didn't discover Star Wars. I discovered the Bane trilogy, which got me into Star Wars between freshman and sophomore, which really got me into Stone 8 seconds. Which probably saved me.
Star Wars. So Star Wars opened your eyes to a perspective outside of what you were restricted to at the time.
Yeah.
You thought that in order to get by in the world, you needed everyone's approval.
Yeah.
And by reading the Bane trilogy, you realized, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll be like Bane.
And I failed most of my sophomore year of high school.
It's better than me. I did not do anything in high school. I had 4 credits at the end of 3 years.
Shit.
It's impressive.
I literally did nothing in high school. Then I dropped out and got my GED in like a couple months.
And that was with Star Wars. Imagine without. Fuck those 4 credits. I don't need those anymore.
Maybe I would have dropped out earlier and gotten my GED at like 16 when I was going to college. Because I started going to college when I was 16. The first movie you ever remembered, as you stated, is episode 4.
Yeah.
New Hope.
Yeah.
So that...
I don't that I would have quite the same appreciation for music that I would.
Do you think maybe you got into physics because of how wrong Star Wars is?
No, I don't. I think I would have always been.
Okay.
Mainly because it's not just physics that my degree is in, it's astrophysics. So I would have gone that direction.
Well, do you think... Are you sure you would have gone into astrophysics? I mean, literally, one of your first memories
is Star Wars.
Is Star Wars. Is the idea of space.
My first is actually several months earlier, which Dad says there's no power.
Fair enough.
Freaks me out.
Fair enough, but still, as I stated, one of your first memories.
I was 2 months old.
That's impressive.
It's scary. Fucking scary.
Regardless, as I said, one of your first memories is the memory of Star Wars, and how it's hard to determine how that might have, like, how that has influenced you, considering the fact that you've gone into astrophysics. Like,
well, the main memory from that movie was the music. So I can say with a high degree of certainty that had it not been for Star Wars, I would not have the same appreciation for music that I have.
So you could actually say John Williams is influenced you.
But at the time, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's who that was.
Yeah.
I just knew it was music that brought the emotion up.
Okay.
So there's that. Now, from the sci-fi side of things, I can't think of any other science fiction.
Well, there's a lot of people that argue that Star Wars isn't science fiction.
Well, it is.
It's science fantasy.
It's science fiction. Get over it. I don't know if I I can't think of any other science fiction movie during my childhood that I was more drawn to. So I don't know if I would be... Did you lose your nuts there?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Alright.
They got lodged in his throat.
He's finally hitting puberty over there.
One of them's dropping anyway.
Yeah, one of them.
Hello, guys. I have to go.
There you go. That's better.
Calm down, sugar tits. Jesus.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Bane.
So,
No.
Anyway.
Batman Bane.
anyway, I know there's a lot of other science fiction shit that was out there at the time, like Forbidden Planet. I remember that movie. I love Forbidden
Star
Planet.
Trek was out.
Star Trek was out. Love Star Trek as well.
Technically, you could
as
argue
much as
Twilight Zone.
Oh, Twilight Zone. Yeah, that is
Or
science
Outer
fiction.
Limits.
Oh my God, Tales from the Dark Side.
There you go.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So I would have been influenced to some extent, but Star Wars is the main one.
That's the memory.
That's the memory from our childhood. So without that, I don't know if I would be quite as
You don't know if you would have
drawn
gone into the other. You don't know if that influence had
It could
is
have
what
been.
led to those others.
Star Wars could have been my gateway drug.
Star Wars is a gateway drug. We've already had someone that wasn't interested in Star Wars at all get
That's
pissed
true.
at us
That is
because
true.
they weren't involved in
That
Star
is
Wars
true.
stuff.
Yes, that's true. That is very, very true. Hi, Alexis.
There you go. That one.
Wait, Alexis, really?
Yeah, she got
Yeah,
pissed
she
off.
got pissed at me.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know she was like actually interested in Star Wars.
She's interested in something involved
Yeah.
in Star Wars, in which she wasn't interested in Star Wars at all prior to it.
True, completely true.
I think she's more interested in us.
No, you.
No one's interested in me.
You're married. Someone is clearly interested in you.
She was interested in me.
She still is. You haven't
I
gotten
notice
divorced.
she leaves every time we do the.
That's because she'd be yelling. She doesn't want a fucking migraine. I don't blame her.
I will. Anyway.
I will not argue that there are several times in which we give ourselves headaches because of the
I have a
arguments we
headache right
have.
now. Let's put it that way,
Yeah,
okay?
but you always have a headache.
Would you have a headache without Star Wars?
I want to be here, so yes. I mean, no.
What fuck? Headache! Fucking idiot.
So, Les, without Star Wars, I'd probably be sleeping right now.
Without Star Wars, none of us would actually be here because he's the reason that we're here.
I know.
And he
we
would
know
be
that.
here.
We know that. That was a. We're not talking about that. We know he wouldn't be here.
It's true. There would be some really fucking awesome role-playing games out there. Pen and paper role-playing games. D&D-esque kind of pen and paper role-playing games that have existed.
That's true.
There's been at least 4 different ones that have existed. Well, there's the original D6 one that came out back in the early 90s, I want to say. And then there's the D&D-esque one that came out that was based off of 3.5 when that came out, because that was open source. So anyone could just make anything off of that. And then there was Saga Edition, which came out after that. And then there's the Fantasy Flight version of the Star Wars role-playing game that's come out as well. That is the most recent iteration. So yeah, there's at least 4 different versions of the Star Wars role-playing game that have come out over the past 20 years.
What else would change? Jim Henson.
I feel like Jim Henson would still exist because didn't
He
the
would.
Muppets exist?
Yeah.
The Muppets. The Muppets started in the 70s, I believe. I'll check that.
Yeah,
In
the first episode 4 came out in the 70s.
77.
77, but the Muppets were
Before that?
way earlier.
So he would
okay.
have still
Yeah, they were.
been...
He would have still been relevant.
Yeah, Frank Oz
Yes.
wouldn't be...
Yes.
Wouldn't have made Yoda. But yeah, no, but that's now. To be fair, would we have the concept of a lightsaber?
A laser
I
sword?
doubt it.
Would the concept of a laser sword exist?
Yes.
No. Because prior to Star Wars, something like that had never even been thought
I
of.
think Lucas developed
We had laser guns because of Star Trek, but a laser sword? That was all Star Wars, bro.
I think Lucas developed that in his own head.
Well, I mean, the thing is that we already see in other, like, depictions of a sword that's on fire.
Yeah,
Well, sword is on fire is one thing.
But I think it wouldn't have been so quick, but I'm pretty sure maybe in the 90s or early 2000s we would have had a laser sword like some sword. Wouldn't have been as good as a lightsaber. It would just be...
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Maybe we're so trained on the idea or concept of a lightsaber that we aren't really thinking of the concept.
I'm thinking...
A lightsaber is not that effective without the force behind it.
That's completely true, yeah.
Because a lightsaber by itself is very inefficient.
Yes.
Very inefficient.
It could cut through anything, though. Except for cortosis or crate scales or...
Use some phone armor.
I think there's only like 4 things, really, that a lightsaber can't cut through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
But it's like Superman. There's only like 2 weaknesses to Superman. Magic and kryptonite.
And Lois Lane.
Lois Lane's not a weakness.
Is an emotional weakness.
Yeah,
Lois
she is a weakness.
is an emotional crutch.
No, she's a weakness.
An attachment, which can be turned into a weakness.
True. I mean, that's just
Actually,
absolutely proven in
It
Justice.
may be Superman's Woody that is his weakness. It's not Lois Lane.
You got
I'm pretty certain Lois...
That's what Lois Lane says.
I'm pretty certain Superman had been late prior to Lois Lane.
You
I mean,
think so?
I'm pretty
I don't think so. No.
Dude, do you see how fucking hot he looks? Have you not
way.
seen Smallville? He's got pussy
way.
everywhere, bro.
Yeah, but he doesn't tap any of it.
That's because it's a fucking teenage show. They can't show fucking tits and ass in that shit.
Blame it on the show.
I absolutely blame it on the show.
So you're saying outside of the show he was banging everything?
Fuck yeah, dude.
No way.
He never
No.
states
No.
he was a virgin when he had Lois.
And you never know that he was banging anyone because he's so fast?
He could, yes. In and out in under 10 seconds.
You're full of shit.
He totally could have been banging so much
he was
tail,
not,
bro.
No, he was not tapping any of that town.
Yes,
at all.
he could have done that another town.
No.
You know, he was bound.
Why did he take so long for Lana?
Lana? He never actually dated Lana.
That's too bad.
Not in the comics, anyway.
Out of all of them. No, I'm talking about the
Oh, in Smallville?
yeah, it's Smallville.
In Smallville, why didn't he ever bang Lana?
Bang.
Like a
Yes,
fucking
okay. Oh,
tom-tom.
Go on. Or Jacob's case of Rain Court.
Yeah.
Which don't exist because Star Wars doesn't
It doesn't exist, but yeah. But no, I'm pretty certain that Superman wasn't a virgin when he banged Lois at the end.
I think you're full of shit. I think he was.
Dude, seriously.
Yeah, I think he was a virgin.
He seems very confident in his capability to impregnate Lois.
Oh, I'm sure he was confident. I just
What I find
did.
really weird is just the sheer physics. Like, when he comes, it should have been like a shotgun.
Oh,
thank
shit,
you!
on her fucking head.
Watching the BlueMilk Podcast!
We're not done yet!
I'm done! This has been a good episode.
Yeah. Les, thank you. That was,
Yes.
that was great, man.
Yeah, it was
Well
short, but to the point.
Well
It
done.
was sweet and probably gross in many ways to a lot of people.
And disturbing.
An example of what it would have been like for this podcast if Star Wars didn't exist. We'd be sitting here talking about how Superman would
No, we wouldn't be sitting here.
shotgun blast the back of fucking Lois Lane up over the wall.
Just like that deleted scene from Hancock.
Yes!
Yeah, fucking hurt.
You ruined everything. For some reason, I just kept thinking, like, how about the Flash, though?
What about the Flash? He's just really fast.
Yeah,
Like, really fast.
yeah. I mean, technically, he can make his penis into a vibrator at that point.
That is accurate.
Yeah, but would she still feel it if he's a
No,
Flash?
technically, at that point, he can technically just vibrate through this. We're talking
I was about to say, like, wouldn't if he just vibrated too much, wouldn't he just vibrate
God.
through her?
Yeah, exactly. You get. Oh, fuck.
No, it wouldn't
Like, I
cut it.
started off really good. No, he wouldn't cut her in half.
It would
He
go
would
through-
vibrate through
yeah.
her atoms.
Yeah, because his
I
atoms
don't know, like
would
90% of yours empty
Oh, if
space.
it's going that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking just fast enough to...
Chainsaw her in half.
Filet!
Oh, that would be
I thought
great.
we were done. Because we're just getting worse and worse.
It's because of him, too. It's 'cause of him.
I know.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
End it.
No, you end it.
No, end it.
No, I gotta go.
Thank you for joining the BlueMilk Podcast today. And thank Leslie for the wonderful fan topic. Hopefully we answered your question
To your satisfaction.
in some manner. But regardless, please like, share, subscribe, follow on Facebook.
Satisfaction.
Oh, God.
But anyway, like, share, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, and be sure to thumb down again
Yes.
on
Yes,
YouTube, please. And
Facebook, YouTube.
YouTube. Follow, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the little bell to get notifications when we put up new content, because we are indeed working on several new commercials that I believe we put out on Facebook.
Apparently we're working on it.
Are you doing? She's crawling.
Pay no attention to the man crawling on the floor.
Pay no attention to the man behind the rug. Anyway,
Holy shit.
please join us again next Monday at 3 p.m. Oh, also, we forgot about this last time, but
Yes.
we would like to thank Matt Hinshaw of the Real Film Nerds, as well as Matt Santos of
Mile High Show.
For just being all around good guys and supporting us in our endeavors forward going. They've been a really big help and support for
Been
us. So, thank you. And please check them out at Real Film Nerds.
MileHighShow.com and Real Film Nerds on Facebook. I don't know. Matt Hinshaw, you just...
Real Film Nerds is
Yeah.
REEL, as
Yes.
in like film reel. So look that up on Facebook, and I hope you enjoy them as much as we do. Toodles.